And Richard, this is something that Gonzaga has not had to deal with in the few era.
No.
I mean, Portland has had back-to-back 20-win seasons, and now all of a sudden they're 3-10. They got a really young squad. They're down. They're rebuilding again, trying to reload. Gonzaga has just been reloaded for better than a decade.
Yeah, GU's done it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, they've done an excellent job staggering recruiting classes.
Riley bangs into three.
You know, and it's all about players. You ask Mark Few, and the first thing he's going to say is, I've been fortunate enough to have exceptional players. And his staff has done a nice job as well as himself recruiting. And the fact that you're able to get that balance. Traditionally, when GU's at their best, they have an excellent front line, and they have good depth on that perimeter, versatile players. And I think this year, it's maybe not as talented a group as they've had on that perimeter because of their youth, and they don't have great depth. But you look at the versatility, and you've got guys who can do a lot of different things. They may be young, but they're they're producing, and I think GU set up in an awfully good way over the next few years.
Lob, Harris, Zachary too high. Hard on the floor, along with Vandemars. Possession arrow favoring Portland. I tell you, you saw the eye contact between Harris and Zachary. Right here, Elias sees Rob, and Rob sees Elias.
Actually, that's a good look.
It was a good pass.
You wonder if that taped thumb might have something to do with Rob not being able to finish it.
It was almost a hair too close to the rim, maybe, right? Bang the ball on the rim.
Well, I didn't throw a lot of lobs.
Not that you know anything about being up there either.
I didn't receive any, and I didn't deliver any, so I'm not the guy to ask. But I always told Blake, hey, in the numbers, I'll do the rest.
I'm giving you a hard time. You're a pretty skilled 7-foot player. Mitrovic from three. 20-point game.
And this is something as a coaching staff, if you're GU, one thing they definitely talked about was not letting up. Let's continue to get better, even if this game is already decided. We don't want to take a step back.
Pangos. Great ball movement again for Gonzaga, looking for the open player. And Pangos taking advantage of his opportunity.
Well, it's been impressive how quickly the ball's moved. You look at GU offensively, the ball hasn't stopped a whole lot, and sometimes offensively that's been a problem for them depending on what personnel are out there. Guys can stop the ball, but you see that right on the catch. Gary knows exactly where to go with it, and once again, Pangos does an excellent job of spotting up. And if you move the ball that quickly, it makes you that much more difficult to guard.
And Revino just stood up and yelled at his young point guard saying, get him off of you. Bell was right up on him, and he wanted Douglas to get him off. And that's up to the guard, right? Create your own space.
If a guy's up into you, the best thing you can do is to drive that pressure. Force the issue a bit, because if a guy's up into you, you start putting foul pressure on him when you take the ball to the rim.
There's a foul on Gonzaga inside on Rob Zachary. Rob picks up his first. That's the first on Gonzaga this half. Portland basketball. So I don't know if it's right to say that Rob Zachary has been in a funk the last few games, but let's just use that word for the moment.
Sure.
I tell you, I don't want to be playing him when he comes out of that funk.
No, this is
because he will.
Well, this is his best game in 5 games. You look at him down the stretch here, last 4 games, partly due to that injury, partly due to the fact that Sam Dowers really emerged once again, kind of picked up where he left off last year, but about 5 points and only 4 field goals attempted per game. This is easily his best game now. He's got himself 11 points on 3 of 5 shooting.
Harris fighting inside. Got the shot up. Tried to draw the foul. Reinforce that backboard after that shot.
We're not going to put that on a basketball clinic video, but they'll take it. Oh, so it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Elias wanted the call. Deflection by Pangos. Douglas picked it up and drove in. Left hand, good. Great use of his body there on Pangos. And the left-handed finish by Douglas. Good-looking freshman for Portland. Take a look at Elias Harris. Now, he's really upset that he didn't get the call here, Richard.
Well, he gets doubled, and he does a nice job splitting the double team. You see that? And he gets it up there. That's a clean block from Vandemars, but he'll take it. Portland down 56-33.
There's a pretty good player on that team.
Yeah, what was his name? He was a good point guard, right?
Yeah, another one from Canada. 2-time NBA MVP, Steve Nash. I don't think even Santa Clara knew what they had at the time.
No, but in the WCC, in any league really, I mean, outside of the top programs, they often really don't know how a guy's going to develop. And he was about as good as it got here in this conference. All time.
Harris left that shot short. Back comes Douglas. I mean, he was really good. Don't get me wrong, really good at Santa Clara. But how do you know he's going to be that good?
Yeah, you don't. But how did you know John Stockton was going to be as good as he was either? Right?
Or MJ for that matter. If you knew MJ was going to be that good, he'd be the first pick overall, right?
Portland might have done things a little different.
Boy, they wish they had.
I think you could have found room for Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan at the same time. Not sure, but I'm thinking that's probably doable.
Here's Harris. Pangos driving with the left hand, little runner with the right hand.
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right.
He's getting so much better using that dribble penetration to get himself looks or create stuff for other guys. I mean, 2 dribbles, feels a defense on his left hip, fades over to his right. Great touch, able to finish it. It's a great look inside for Pangos.
3 more years. Riley. Nice dish blocked by Sacre. Kaysen got it back and will shoot free throws. Kevin Pangos, 19 points on 6 of 8 shooting. He's 5 of 7 from behind the arc, but you can tell what a versatile freshman for Mark Few. Gonzaga up big. Here's the answer to tonight's Arby's trivia question. Which Zach currently leads the WCC in three-point field goal percentage? Pangos, Bell Jr., Harris, or Stockton? The answer, David Stockton. All 4 players are in the top 15, but Stockton leads the conference with a 54.5 percentage, 12 of 22 coming into tonight. Try Arby's new Ultimate Angus Philly today. Angus beef the way it was meant to be, slow roasted, freshly sliced and topped with classic Philly ingredients. Arby's, it's good mood food.
Pretty good numbers for your backup point guard.
Boy, I'd say. Mark Few has a lot of weapons at his disposal. And I don't know if weapons is the right word, but there's certainly a lot of versatility and a lot of answers he has sitting beyond the top 5.
Yeah, and just a great group. I talked to Coach Giacoletti before the game and just said the chemistry of this group, they're all coachable. There's no egos. Guys generally want other guys to succeed. And that's hard. You know, it's hard to coach that, hard to get guys to buy in. And it's so much easier when your group already buys into that sort of philosophy, and this group does.
Dower stripped by Carr. Back comes Portland. There's Riley. Fake on Hart. And a little runner on the baseline. Here's Stockton, the answer to our Arby's trivia question. Spangler posting up on Nicholas. Tipped away by Kaysen. Hart runs it down. Back to Stockton. 15 on the shot clock. Spangler. You could tell when they went up, that ball fell to the heel of his hand.
Yeah, it slipped out of his hand, but
Douglas. Here's an acrobatic finish.
He's been a little bit more productive here in the second half, but the second time he's taken the ball to the rim and been able to get himself an easy 2 points, or I should say a tough 2 points. And I think that's when he's at his best, putting that dribble penetration, that pressure on the defense, and that'll open up his jump shots as the game goes on.
There's Spangler earning the trip to the free throw line. In time, I think he'll develop that left hand and use the left hand to the finish, right?
Let's take a look at this drive real quick from Douglas. Splits the defense. David does a nice job challenging without fouling, and Douglas able to hit the circus shot. But, you know, back to your point, Greg, with Spangler, I think he's going to be a tremendous player. A, because he can do one thing really, really well, and that's rebound the basketball. He likes contact. I think defensively he's going to be a solid player for him. You know, he misses a lot of shots around the rim right now, but part of that is the adjustment that most bigs have to make from the high school level to the college level, and that is you're playing against guys your size or bigger. Plays are happening at or above the rim. In high school, you don't have to deal with that often, and he's rushing shots. He's too worried about getting his shot blocked rather than just going up strong, making a solid move. That'll come with time.
And as you know, Richard, it's not about getting better in the season. It's the summertime where these kids really make the jumps in their game, right? It's the work that he's going to have to do on his own.
And this program, historically, that's been a huge summer for kids. You know, just off the top of my head, Ronny Terioff, Corey Violet, guys I played with, their freshman to sophomore jumps were tremendous. And that's because you play a full season, you're kind of just playing on instincts, playing hard, and hopefully things fall into place. But you slowly start to learn the game, and you get better as a result.
Stockton the steal. And he'll shoot free throws. Foul on Riley. I'm just thinking to myself as David heads down the floor to the other end, how many teams in the West Coast Conference would love to have David Stockton starting?
Yeah. I tell you what, Anybody in the bottom 4 or 5 would definitely be interested in that. You know, the thing with David is, you know, his scoring comes and goes. You look at the last 4 games, he hasn't been as productive on the offensive end, only about 3 points. Only taking about 2 shots. He's not a guy who's looking for offense. What he does is he moves your team. He finds guys in the right spots. He makes plays with the pass, but he can score. We looked at it, that 3-point percentage, but you know, the previous 5 games before the last 4, over 25 minutes a game and 12 points and 12 assists. He had 12 assists in that stretch. So he can get it done offensively if you leave him open, but that's not what he's looking for. He's so unselfish, and that's a great guy to have, particularly in this conference. This conference, he's not going to be physically overmatched.
Carr inside off the glass. Here's Dower. Got a little move on Vandemar's there. Dower got it back, missed the jump shot. Eddie up strong, but lost his feet. Dower goes in there and digs it out. Possession arrow goes to Gonzaga.
Excellent hustle from Dower. You know, that's an area of his game, that extra effort, the rebounding, the defensive effort, that really isn't his strength. He's an offensive guy, looks to get his offense going, but you know, if he can start getting better in those areas, he's done a nice job the last 4 games on the glass, over 5 rebounds per game. Probably the best stretch of his career. And you saw right there the efforts getting there on those 50-50 plays, and that's only going to make him that much more difficult to deal with.
Stockton has it knocked away by Rogers. Spangler. Tough pass to Carr. Possession stays with GU, 21 on the shot clock.
Portland continues to play hard now. 18 points.
If you ever saw Revenant played in college, there is no way you're playing for him if you don't.
Effort's not going to be an issue. You're absolutely right. I tell you what, he demands his kids continue to play hard, and this program has really taken on that personality, and despite being down 18, they continue to put forth the effort.
Here's Stockton. Spins, left hand blocked by Vandemar. 8 on the shot clock. Open 3. Bang!
First you don't succeed, try again, huh?
If you're the best shooter in the league, why not?
Hey, that's a good shot for him.
It is.
You know, late in the shot clock, had to put it up, but got the first shot blocked. Stuck with it. No one came out to him, and he knocked it down. I mean, you leave David Stockton alone, much like Kevin Pangos, you expect the ball to go in.
11:43 to play. Gonzaga up by 21. Stockton, like you said, all alone and buries it. We'll be right back. Well, I tell you, there's some former teammates on the floor as you take a look there at Ryan Nicholas, the sophomore for Portland. Played at Gonzaga Prep here in Spokane. Played on the same team with Mr. David Stockton. Chris Sauerball there, number 24, a walk-on for Gonzaga. So some kids that really know each other well.
Well, that G-Prep program has been one of the best in Spokane, maybe one of the best in the entire state. You look at Nicholas, tremendous as a senior, first-team All-State MVP of the GSL, and a bright kid, too. 3-time member of the National Honor Society. So he's a good pickup for Portland. He's a solid player. It looks like Eddie lost the ball out of bounds on that attempted alley-oop over the top of the defense. A nice look from Carter, but Portland does a better job rotating over, doesn't give up the easy 2 at the rim.
Those sorts of plays, of course, not in a game like this, but Richard, are so important in the game of basketball. The emotional part of this game is Carter hustling for the ball right to the TV table here. Nice little crash. Had Richard running for the stairs.
Terrified there.
You were terrified.
I saw that you didn't try to move over and protect me, though.
No. You're closer to the action. I got you in between me and him, you know. It's all good. I know he's not going to run through you. But the dunk and the emotional lift it gives to a home crowd and to a team. Eddie's going to be very important as this season moves on and he gets more comfortable and he develops along with the chemistry that's already here.
Well, the key is, you said, get more comfortable. And traditionally, in any program, and GU is no different, it takes a while for those JC transfers to get comfortable with the Division I level. And As this season progresses, he'll get more comfortable with the speed of the game. He'll be able to make more plays on both ends. I mean, you see right now, the effort's there.